Hello, and today I'm going to talk about campfire snacks because I just thought about pie, and I think that pie is 3.14 to start with. So 3 dots, and then one line apiece, a tenth, a full measurement of 1. And then, if there's 3 dots and a tenth, how do you divide? How do I divide more accurately? A tenth with 3. Oh, it's 3.33333334 somewhere. And that, I think, is the resolution of eternity. There's that. I'm not going to say that, but there's those annoying people over there that have called the cops on me multiple times. And a police officer had their hand in their vest where their gun was after provoking with threatening the use of slander to use drugs to harm me. And then they had their hand on their gun, and then my hand was on that fence over there, and it was digging in because it was leaning over a little bit. And then I readjusted, and they moved their hand from their weapon to their holster on the side of their leg after attempting to provoke me multiple times, and attempted to provoke me again by maneuvering towards their weapon to attempt to provoke a reaction that they think would be pulling a gun out in front of the United Nations to kill me with an assassination while trespassing on my property. And I think that's an example of similar to, what was his name? That guy, I think in Chicago, where they said, oh, if you were not breathing, then why are you saying that you're not breathing? Because he didn't have much breath, and he was trying to say something in a short, coherent expression that he was having difficulty with air. And they don't think that's important because they're out there to kill people because they express opinions. And anyone who is not, what would that be called? Peace. With an authoritative system, not equal justice. Because anybody who steps out of the realm, who is not an authority that is given a claim of immunity from prosecution, including police that kill people, is considered not to be peacing as a slave who is submissive in the realm, and it gives them the opportunity to come up on people with homeless people and police officers without cause and have the homeless person who's in distress and the police officer just run up and kill people in front of the United Nations type stuff. Well, let's talk about the United Nations a little more. United Nations Secretary General hung out with Jay-Z the rapper, who was a child soldier on street corners with a weapon selling crack cocaine that was expressed in a documentary that I think he was in. I think he was. He was in. He was expressing that. And the United Nations Secretary General did not say anything about degrading the chance of harm, improving the standard of living. He didn't say anything about improving the standard of living because it's an authoritative system that uses distress, and people are paying more than $700 in rent, and I don't know, a fourth of their paycheck a month over till they're 65. And I do think healthcare could be improved with it not costing people and ridiculous amounts of money being paid, so that people could retire instead of at 65 at younger ages until it's not necessary. And then I think so degrading the chance of harm, that people are not being abusive, increasing hope by showing an expression and an example and an existence of an improving standard of living, and educating people on ways to be self-reliant. And that's what the United Nations Secretary General did not do to a child soldier who talks about crack cocaine in their music and using those type of expressions to sell music to promote not to promote from his perspective, maybe, but he does say he's throwing up the Illuminati sign and stuff. I don't know, whatever that means. And then, so there's those people. And so that would be a child soldier who was not given an education, that continues to be not aware of those situations, including by the United Nations Secretary General, and is a molested child who's throwing up Illuminati signs. And I guess that's part of the back of the dollar bill stuff. And then, so a child molested Illuminati rapper hanging out with the United Nations Secretary General, and him not saying anything about it. What about, I got a riddle. What is a sail? What creates a sail to move a boat? Well, the sail, wind pushes behind and hits the sail and pushes it forward. And that's because there's a fin in the below the boat that keeps the boat going forward. So if the wind's pushing from the side, it wedges in the water and moves it forward. It doesn't push the boat sideways when the wind's moving sideways. And when a sail spins in a circle on a fan that propels an airplane forward, that is what is happening. And when they say that it's a thrust forward from throwing stuff out the back, that is not coherent and reasonable education. And that's what's taught in schools, is that planes move forward because things are thrown out the back. Not that things are pushed forward through a rotation that creates a full sail and efficient use of the environmental condition to push the sail forward through a rotation similar to a screw. And then there's also other currents that are efficiently used with jets that make that more efficient by using currents that move forward, similar to a pontoon boat. If you look at the back of the pontoon on the back of the boat, I think you might notice that the water is moving forward. And then, what else is there? Locks on doors, 5 seconds to pick them. And they don't teach you, I think they don't teach anybody relevant information in schools. And that instead of peace, I think safety, self-reliance, improving standards of living, and a full different style of communication instead of submission to an authority, and blitz defenses and those type of things. Bloop, 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 bloop. So that was that, and I guess that's the episode. I hope you enjoyed this one.